Good afternoon, Yada. How are you today?
Hi, Danielle. How are you? I'm great.
Good, good. I'm well too. Thank you for asking. So it's been a pleasure to speak with you a little bit about your experience. But at this point in time, I would love to um, record a portion of our interview. So thank you for allowing me to do that. To hear in your own words about some of your experience. So tell me about your experience with affordable housing.
So, with affordable housing, I have Section 8 experience with low income. So, the government issues a portion of their income. Well, it's essentially supplemented with what they can afford according to what their pay is. And that's how they get into the property, essentially.
And about how many years of affordable housing experience do you have?
About five.
5 years, affordable housing. Did you work with the wait list when you were at the HUD property?
Yes, I did. So, actually, it would be a list of candidates, and depending on their situations, whether it be if they had children or not, how many children they had, it really just depends on what their situation, if they were in the process of being evicted or terminated or something devastated that happened to their situation, it might push them up on the top of the list, and then that would be our priority.
Okay, great. And you have your bachelor's degree we talked about, and you're a Florida notary.
Yes.
A notary, and you are a real estate agent. Do you hang your license with any broker currently?
I currently do have my license hung with LPT.
Okay.
And I've had my license since 2007. And within that time frame, I've sold houses. I've done several years of property management. We're getting clients in the property, also checking to make sure that the property is in good condition, being the liaison between the tenant and the landlord. So I have several years of experience with property management as well as buying and selling and refinancing with different
Okay.
customers.
And if you were, should you be offered a position that is not selling real estate, would you still keep your license hung with LPT?
Whatever the need is, there is sometimes a need for me to bring my license over to that particular company, and I'm okay with that.
Okay, because I'd have to check and make sure with this particular position that there would not be any conflict with you having your license hung at a different office. But we can certainly talk about that a little bit further
Okay.
should we move to the next step with the interviews. So, as far as software, have you ever worked with Yardi?
I have. I have worked with
Okay.
Yardi before. Of course, Microsoft Excel.
Microsoft Office. And this isn't needed for this position, but have you ever worked with QuickBooks?
Yes, I have.
Okay, it's always a good one I like to note.
I do have experience with several different CRMs. I'm not sure that you would be familiar with them, but I do have experience with a lot of different CRMs.
Okay. And how many years property management experience do you have in total?
Roughly around, I want to say 7 years of property management, but with single
7 years?
family property. Yes.
Okay. And what do you feel that would be a very good quality, like a skill set for someone who's in property management? Like, how would you describe like a perfect candidate? If you were hiring, what would you be looking for?
Effective communication for sure. Making sure they can communicate between all parties, meaning the management company or the employer, as well as the customer. And in the case where it is property management, also with the landlord, all of those parties, all of those people involved are very important. So I would say communication needs to be very clear and it needs to be very effective.
Okay, clear and effective communication. And do you feel that you possess that?
I do.
Okay. Great. And what about multitasking? Like, how would you respond to having a whole bunch of things going on during the day? Like, what would your strategy be?
to stay organized and to not be overwhelmed, but make sure that I prioritize my day with what is most important. And of course, with real estate property management, you're always going to have a multitude of things to do all at once. There's going to be people coming in, contracts that need to be signed, people that's leaving of the unit. So there's, as long as you organize your day, um, I would say that's a normal day for me.
Yes, absolutely. Property management is, whenever I think about it, I always think of the two things that you just mentioned, communication and multitasking. I did property management for years, and I think I still use the skills that I learned there to be able to do 10 different things at once.
Absolutely.
Think of that one man band from Mary Poppins, he's
Oh yeah.
going along. Um, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording right now, but don't hang up because we got a few more things to chat about. So
Okay.
allow me to stop this.